afternoon. How is everyone? It's good to see you. Good to see you. All right. How many of you are web developers? You all are here for WordPress, WordCamp, and none of you are web developers. All right. It's so great to have you here. So today I'm going to be sharing just some few tips on front-end development. So my name is Fanny Yaich. It's pronounced as Fanny. Everyone calls me Fanny, so it's fine. My name is Fanny, and I'm a front-end developer, and also have been a WordPress user since 2019. And I'm also an open source contributor. And for fun, I travel, and I'm also passionate about conservation, and also a writer. I have a personal blog running on WordPress as well as on Hashiblog. So, web developers, any idea what front-end development is? Let's just have it like, let's make it interactive. Any idea what front-end development is? Yes, thank you.
Thank you. There is back-end development and front-end development. Back-end development is mostly with coding, like the making of themes, and the development of themes, development of other software like that we can use in the website development, while front-end is mostly with designing and then arrangement of different resources.
A round of applause. Thank you so much. So, front-end development is basically, he actually described both front-end and back-end. So when you take a look at this picture, what comes in your mind? You think somebody is actually on air, in a plane. That's what you see when this person shares this picture. But then when they share with you what is actually happening, this is what the actual guy is doing. So this is how best I can explain. Front-end development in web development is basically what the user sees. And then back-end is what is happening, whether it is APIs, functionalities, but with front-end is just when you go to any website, what you're seeing, that is the front-end, which is basically the layout, as you said, interface, the design, and the dynamic behaviors and interactions. Thank you. So, now, my first tip for web development is that you just keep it simple. There is that phrase, they say, keep it simple, stupid. So, you want to make sure that your website is very easy for someone, when someone accesses it. You want to make sure that it is loading fast. You want to make sure that they are able to navigate well. You want to make sure that everything is visually appealing to the users, the color choices, the font choices. So you just have to make it simple. You can choose maybe 1 or 2 fonts. Another tip is make it mobile friendly. Nowadays, many people access websites using phones. So there is what they call mobile first development. That is like you're developing first for the mobile user, and then the desktop comes after. So you need to make sure that your website is accessible on all mobile phones. So you can use that by testing on your browser as you're developing. There is what we call DevTools by Chrome. So you can check the responsiveness of your website from your browser before you actually put it out for people to see. So you can use CSS grid and flexbox to align. That's an example of grid to align your items in the website. For those taking pictures, I'll share with you the slides if you need them, because I have some references about grid and flexbox in the slide. So you take your time if you're looking to go into web development. These are one of the most important things, especially in CSS, for layouts and grid, to just kind of align your website in a visually appealing way. So my next tip is using JavaScript libraries. How many of you are JavaScript developers? We have another one, yes. So if you've written JavaScript for some time, you notice that there are some frameworks like React, Angular, they come with ready-made components for you to just implement some of these things we have talked about, like the responsiveness. You can actually start developing your website, testing responsiveness from the beginning using some of these components. For example, React has React Bootstrap, and there's also Vue.js and also Angular for that. So performance. So you want to make sure that your website is performing really great in terms of speed, in terms of navigation by the user, in terms of everything that is happening. So by doing that, you can minimize HTTP requests by optimizing your images. When you log into some websites, you see maybe some images are not loading. You can use lazy load if you're implementing something like that to optimize the images. And also, you can check for performances on your website. Use that link, pagespeed.web.dev. You put the URL to your website there, and then it will give you a display of how your website is performing, whether something is wrong with it. So using this tool will help you to kind of work on your site and make changes that will just make it better in terms of performance. Because especially with loading time, loading speed, people don't want to go on websites which is taking like minutes to load. So your website should take like how many seconds, David? The best speed for websites, yes.
0 seconds.
Yes, actually 0 seconds. A fast website should not be 0.2 seconds. More something like that. But when you use that tool, it will actually show you what is causing your website to be slow and what is causing your website to whatever, and you'll be able to fix those issues. And then accessibility. Accessibility, make sure that you're developing it for the user. One time, somebody asked for a review of a website we were building, and I had to go through that website from part A to the last bit of it, and I wrote a honest feedback about each of that website. But then there were issues with the website. And I asked him, I said, ABCD is not working. And his response was, it works on my computer. Now, when you're building a website, you're not building it for yourself. Who disagrees or who agrees? You're building it for someone to use it. It might work on your computer, but then someone else somewhere might be wanting to access it, and then it's not working on their devices. So make sure that accessibility is at the fingertip when you're trying to implement your front-end skills, and make sure that everything is working. And then it's very good to get feedback, because it is from feedback That is how you're going to improve either on your website or on your development skills. So make sure that you connect with people around you who are doing the same things. If you are already a front-end developer and you're facing challenges with something, make sure you connect with developers. For example, we have WordPress here. There are people who are good at WordPress front-end development here. So connect with them and get feedback from them. Show them what you have already so that they can give you feedback. And then to make it again more accessible, host it online. Someone was mentioning some hosting platforms. We have Bluehost, which is one of the sponsors here. There is also GoDaddy. So you can host it online so that it reaches a wider range of people worldwide. So another important thing is testing. Testing. Before you put your work up there, make sure that you have tested it and it is doing exactly what you intended it to do. Don't just put it out there before testing it, because issues are going to come and it's going to take you as a shock. So I really recommend before putting up your site or before hosting, you have to test. There are tools like Browser Stack and cross-browser testing to automate some of this testing process. And unfortunately, we don't have like a practical session for this. So, anyone with any more tips? If you have any tips or any other questions, you can ask. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So my question is, you talked about JavaScript and CSS and all that. So basically, you are front end. Now I'm asking, what if, okay, for me, I've done the HTML bit and I'm done with it. Do I call you and I'm like, come and help me with the JavaScript and the CSS, okay, like, for you to do the final front end of like my web, because I'm not understanding. Okay, I understand what you do, but I want to ask, do you also get yourself involved in the HTML, like coding bit of the behind part of the computer?
Front end is basically the user layout. So I think the perspective at which I was presenting was that perspective of a front-end developer. But then if you're working as a team, there is someone who is going to work on the back end, yeah? But then if you're full stack, that means you're going to handle all the HTML, all the CSS, and then you come back to the back end, which is maybe the JavaScript. But however, you can also use JavaScript in front end. Like I mentioned, there are these libraries that can help you come up with really amazing user interfaces. Yeah? But then if you're full stack, that would mean you will now use another JavaScript library called Node.js to implement your back end. I hope that answers your question.